All right, so welcome back here. We're live at Gamescom here for Battlefield 4. Again, I'm Corey Dunn. Now I'm joined here with Lars Gustavsson. I knew it was going to happen. Gustavsson, you know, the creative director here for Battlefield. I mean, you've been here since the very beginning.
That's over 40 years of Battlefield. Scary.
And it's a great thing because, I mean, so we can see where the inspiration grew from the very beginning to the very end. I mean, so Battlefield 1942. But let's kind of talk about Battlefield 4 and what are some of the different types of elements that really stand out to you?
I mean, a couple of the big things is the dynamic battlefield. We've upped the game with destruction. We've added levolution, and as you can see here today with Paracel Storm, it is truly about not only the dynamic water that creates gameplay where previously it was a flat surface and the one who fired first won.
Right.
But nowadays you have to predict the waves. You have to battle not only against your enemy, but against the nature.
Right.
And also the concept of levolution, you know, an interactive battlefield where it's not only weapons, gadgets and vehicles, but the whole environment that you can use to your advantage.
I think one of the interesting things too is while I was swimming around, I decided to dive underneath the water, and then whenever I decided to come back up, well, it was during the storm that was going on. And so during that storm, I was having a tough time almost literally riding the waves, and I didn't last too long out there. It's a little treacherous out there.
Oh yeah, it's, I mean, to me that's the beauty of it as well. It's about learning how to take advantage of it. I mean, the inspiration for the battle on these raging seas came from how tanks were battling it out in the sand dunes of 1942, that you can use it to your advantage. If you had the weaker tank, you had a Sherman tank against a big Tiger tank, you needed to use the sand dunes to come around and hit the weak spot and then hide again. And we took that as a concept when we started building the water gameplay. And now I was sitting Saturday here before coming down here, and late night Saturday preparing the build and trying it out. And you know, I was battling another attack boat, and I lost. I bailed out in my jet ski and used the low of a wave to come around and escape. And it's so beautiful when you have a concept and you see it coming together. And it works.
I think one of the interesting things too is, I mean, typically in any game we see waves. Well, that's usually just client side, but that's actually here. Those waves that I see are the same waves that you see.
Yeah. So it all started, I mean, it started as a single-player initiative. We looked into the tech of interactive water to make kind of wakes around you as you walked. And then we started looking at raging seas. And then the question was asked, can't we get this in multiplayer? Can we network it? And yeah, it was a challenge, so we had to have an idea around the gameplay, and that's where we brought up the tanks in the sand dunes. And from there on, Frostbite team, the Battlefield team, has been working as one team to deliver this feature. And to stand here today and see people playing it is just amazing.
Let's go ahead and just, now that we're inside the game here, let's just kind of take a look here. One of the things that we've seen as well is, of course, looking through the spectator mode, but we can kind of talk in terms of the commander. What are some of the different elements in the commander mode that we've seen in Battlefield 2 that's done differently in Battlefield 4?
So overall, I mean, one of the first things you will notice is that we have separated. So previously we had 62 players on the battlefield and 2 commanders in there as well. Now we have separated those, so once you apply and become a commander, you are taken into special commander positions, so you're not on the battlefield. So it's 64 players plus 2 commanders. And as a commander, you have a unique overview of the battlefield. We provided you with, I mean, the different zoom states that you expect. We provide you with tools both from Intel and from kind of a weaponry.
Right.
And we base it on 3 different levels. One is you have the default setup of scan and UAV, and this is where the tug of war between the 2 commanders turn up, where you have to outsmart the other commander, you know, fool them into using their precious EMP at the wrong time, and you can then outsmart them. You have the different assets that are connected to the different flags or bases that will give you additional advantages. So in this case, you can, depending on map, you can find an AC-130 gunship, or it can be the Tomahawk cruise missile. And then, of course, on top of this, we have the ecosystem of action. So as you work as a commander, order squads around for the best of your team, and as they fulfill their commitments, you start building up score that then get turned into vehicle drops, supply drops, and a lot of things that help your team just keep on pushing for victory.
Again, that's one of the elements that I've always loved about Battlefield is just team play. And that's really what it feels like. And it doesn't matter whether I hop into a public server or whether I'm getting highly competitive and joining a squad. You always feel that you're playing for a team.
Yeah. Yeah, we tried hard, and we do notice the fact that there are many people out there who want to either do infantry only or they want to play as a lone wolf, and we hate to dictate to the player how to play Battlefield. If you want a small mode, you want the beauty of classes, customization, destruction, go at it. But if you want the team play factor, we've upped our game. We included now 5 players in the squad. We have the field upgrade system, which allow the squad to choose their individual unlock career. You can choose kind of the defensive path, and there you have 4 different levels of unlocks that will up your game. And then as you work as a squad, you start building up your score and you unlock these tiers. But if you get wiped as a squad, if you're all in one helicopter and get shot down, your progress bar will go down. So it's working together as a team for the best of the game.
For those of you that are wondering what we're talking about, the field upgrades, it's going to be in your bottom left-hand side of your screen, and each individual player can select their own field upgrades that they would like. So far, we have the defaults for each of the classes is going to be an offensive and a defensive, and then we're seeing some very specific types as well, field upgrades for each one of the, whether it's recon or assault or.
So you can unlock more, and it's really to allow you to find kind of what suits you best. So we don't dictate for a whole squad how they're supposed to play. So while being individualist, you can still be a team player.
So how do you build up in your progress bar down here?
So by performing team actions and working as a squad, you start seeing you have squad score, and these build up to this progress. And the progress is individual, so if you do decide to leave a squad and go to another, you keep the progress on your bar.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you'd mentioned is if your entire squad has been taken out, you go down. Is that just like one level, or is that?
We've looked at taking you down one step, to be honest. While I stand here and enjoy myself and watch beautiful gamers game, the team is hard at work defining those, the last tweaks and tunes to find the balance, since this game is supposed to be played for many years, and you really want to nail that fine balance. So exactly how much is still to be defined.
This actually is one of the things that I was looking out for is the assault classes having the defibrillators. I'm happy to finally see it. I know that it was going to be a part of the game, but I'm happy to finally get the chance to see them being brought out. Is having to work so hard on the creative aspects of it, just the idea, where you're going with it, the design. Is there anything that you really like as a player, as just someone that just playing Battlefield?
Yeah, to me, I mean, I'm in a fortunate position. For 14 years, I've been building the game that I love to play. So I think a lot of my taste in gaming has colored the game and its evolution. So for me, the beauty of just stepping back at the whole franchise is that I can choose how to play. On my good days, when I surprise myself and actually kill people, I can enjoy a good team deathmatch, while I can truly enjoy a big, large conquest game or obliteration. Lots of vehicles. I don't even kill people, I just perform team actions. And what I really feel, I mean, with Paracel Storm, with the new obliteration mode, is that the pieces are falling into place, It's the team play and, to be honest, the joy and fun. On the surface, it seems very serious. The joy and fun that gets brought out by kind of the team play perspective of trying to bring a bomb to the other team's home base, together with the storm that starts building up, together with the vehicle gameplay. I think we're building something that people haven't really seen before. And I mean, we're going to bring this to the next generation of consoles as well. 64 players, 60 FPS. So I think it's a huge step forward for the Battlefield franchise and all.
I'm looking forward to the actual release and also seeing it just in beta process, the open beta.
Yeah.
It's going to be just great to watch how players create a new metagame for each individual map, each type of game type, whether and also, like you said, obliteration, and seeing how the game is really going to be that tug of war.
Yeah.
I mean, across the map. I mean, so for those that are kind of curious, we'll actually take some time tomorrow to look at obliteration and see the map layouts and how there's 3 different points on both sides, Russian and the Chinese, and then there's going to be a bomb that you're basically trying to pick up and take it to an MCOM point.
Exactly, and it's a random, it's an area, general area where it can spawn, but it's always in a random place, so it can't be that predictable.
That's great. It's just the thought process that goes into it, and just seeing how dynamic these games really can be. I mean, it's a marketing term, but in all honesty, it's very true that no game is alike. No single game is going to be like anything else. I mean, watching all the different types of levolution that come into play.
Yeah, and many times I think when we talk about the game, it's easy to make it sound like it's a marketing pitch or anything, but to be honest, what we've done since the very first prototype is play it on a daily basis, and we still do. And as we do it, we build from the crosshair and out. If running, gunning, shooting isn't fun, then the rest doesn't matter. And then we add on top, we upped kind of your customization. You can customize your side-on. We added lots of little things, like we talked about diving, sprinting on ladders, sprinting in water. Lots of little things, but all of these things often don't get any attention since you talk about levolution or destruction and so on. But I think that once you start getting in there and seeing what's under the big names, it's truly a new battlefield that we're trying to refine in all the areas that we feel need to take a new direction, or we got a clear direction from the community that they want to see fixed.
Let the viewers see at home exactly who's currently winning. Of course, Daniel Matrosa, that we've worked with there at E3, just did an impressive job with the spectator mode. I come from a competitive gaming background, a lot of shoutcasting, and just seeing what Daniel's done so far with the UI, I mean, I say so far, what it is right now is a total package as is, and I know that he's still fine-tuning and making those small tweaks.
Yeah, we get a lot of feedback, and we try to, I mean, we showed it at E3 and we're showing it here, and get a lot of feedback, and it's been a very positive feedback. So I'm extremely proud to finally get it in there. We've had endless questions around it, and I understand the community. It's something that should have been in there for a long time, and finally it's there. And overall, I think that the Battlefield really lends itself to competitive gaming. We're always trying to cater for individualists, but packaging it with a layer of team play. And now to be able to bring it to the world with the broadcasting possibilities is a huge step forward.
I think it's just a great component. It works for me. I mean, it's one of my things, my bread and butter. But also, let's just kind of talk about, you'd mentioned some of the attachments, some of the additional things that are being added as we're talking right now. I've had the chance to see that not only E3 we discussed about the canted iron sight. I think that's one of the greatest elements that has been brought out in any game, just in terms of having the ability, because that's one of my biggest frustrations is I'm running with my gun at my side, and then whenever I really want to make a decent shot, I scope in, but it's close quarters, and I can't. That battle is just so difficult for me.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree. It's a lot of little things, and for us, having made Battlefield for such a long time, it's sometimes hard to find a balance between what some people would consider extreme hardcore features, but we try to go at them and see what does this bring to every type of gamer. So whether you're hardcore or not, this makes a difference, and it's up to you to choose kind of how you want to play the Battlefield. And with the new test range we're putting in there to allow you to go in and try out things before you go on the Battlefield, to finally get to learn how to master a helicopter or a plane or try out the tanks, I think that will also let people get acquainted before they go out and try to master opponents on the Battlefield.
So you have communities out there on Reddit, even on your own Battlelog forums, just all across. How often do you listen to the community?
I would say constantly. I mean, I know that I'm not that visible on forums and so on,
right.
and I do apologize for that sincerely. But yeah, Battlefield has gone so big and the teams are so big, but I have a lot of good people who help me just scan the forums, bring up the hot topics, what are the areas that we need to improve, and constantly listening to the community, since even though we have a lot of new initiatives with Battlefield 4 and kind of how do we take it to the next kind of interesting gameplay perspective, there's also, as mentioned, a lot of things that are purely kind of direct feedback from the community.
I think one of the key things to talk about too is whenever giving feedback, because a lot of gamers have input. They like to say something.
Yeah.
The issue is that there's no content behind it. There's no reason why. I think one of the things that I always like to mention to anybody that's in a community, whenever you have a concern, when you think there's something that's broken or needs fixing or an upgrade, to always have an explanation of why.
Yeah.
And then even if you can, then give how do you do it? What's the approach to it? I think those three things are usually good for the community.
I mean, there's a lot of great community people out there who arrange lists, who post videos of the things they've noticed, which is super easy for us to pick up and evaluate and see what we can do about it. And trust me, I mean, we're doing everything we can to constantly be on top of things and just keep on improving the experience, since it goes. In the old days, you shipped the game and it was over, but nowadays it continues. So yeah, constantly trying to be on top of the game.
I think your team has done an impressive job for Battlefield 4. I mean, every component of it. It seems like once you turn over one rock, you have to turn over something else. There's just something new all over the place. So
I'm happy you say that. We try hard.
It's been impressive for me, especially just having the chance of I'm as a public player, just hopping into a game. It's fun. That's the first main thing that anybody needs to know, is that it's fun.
Yeah, and I think we're working hard with the whole packaging around it with Battlelog, that for Battlefield 3 it became very much a PC feature, and not all console players got to visit and take kind of part in the Battlelog experience. But now we're spreading it to your tablet. We integrate it to all clients, and it's not the be-all, but it's the social layer. It's where you have your friends. It's where you get the latest and greatest about Battlefield. You can compare your stats. And on top of that, of course, we have battle screen. We have the commander screen. So, as always, you play Battlefield the way you want to play Battlefield, but we try to give you the tools to make the most out of your experience.
I think one of the things that I think is really great is having the capability of changing out your class, what you really want, while you're in game. I think that's one of the hardest things, is that whenever you die, it's just not enough time to sit there and go, okay, all right, I need to click through and find everything. This way it's all set up here, and also have the ability to be on the bus or just be at the office or whatever, wherever you're at with your tablet, or hopping online to go check out your battle log, change up your classes, and be good to go.
And then a lot of that stuff comes from kind of our own experiences. You know, you go from work, you see what friends are online, but now you can actually sit on the bus and do things like this. You prepare for battle, you come home, you can turn on the machine, you can even have your pad, you can keep on chatting with your friends while you prepare dinner and bring it into the living room. You can see that it's up, you can connect to the server, you have customized your kit on the bus, and you're ready to go. And now with Commander being able to drop supplies where you can also go up and change your kit, I mean, we're trying to constantly add to the convenience of gameplay, to never feel that I'm doing the wrong thing, or I wish I would have done this.
I know that people are questioning about what is has it been determined yet on the application process to become a commander?
Yeah, what we're looking into, and this is still the final tweaks and tunes, but what we're looking into is some type of gating. Exactly what rank isn't decided, but we consider some rank in order to allow players to get acquainted with the battlefield, to be experienced running around on the battlefield and realize that the commander haven't played the mode before. Would be kind of irresponsible from our side to let those commanders out there. So we will challenge players to play the game a bit before you go out there and become a commander. And then we try to really encourage this. And of course, it's important that the community or the players out there on the battlefield get to voice kind of their their perceived experience of your commander performance. So each squad can rate the performance of the commander. He or she can be warned if they are giving you bad ratings. So you get a warning that you're about to get kicked if you don't shape up. So I think we're trying to really cater for a good experience on the battlefield. And we also gotten a lot of feedback from the community that with rented server program, many times you don't really know what server you're getting into. And that's where we worked with a new concept of basically classifying the settings so that if you stay within these boundaries, you will have an official battlefield server. And that means that anyone who joined via quick match or server browse into an official server will get a guaranteed battlefield experience. Then you can start switching around with the sliders and you end up as a ranked game. It still will have your persistence. It will still give the guaranteed battlefield experience, but with some deviations. And then, of course, you can go crazy on your settings, but then you go unranked, and people are free to join it and have the alternate battlefield, which is also a great possibility of battlefield. But then at least the ones who are looking for the vanilla battlefield won't stumble into an experience that they didn't expect.
I think the last thing that I can talk about is it has to be, especially with Paracel Storm, is the amphibious vehicles and seeing them out there. Do you think we're really going to see an impact in the game with these new vehicles out there and the new dynamic of the waves and everything?
I truly hope so. I mean, a level like Paracel Storm, initially we had one island, and to be honest, then suddenly boats became transports again. It was very easy that if you didn't have an impact while you sat in the boat, you got less and less interested in using your watercraft. But now, with the kind of capture radius from boats, with kind of the support from, it's almost like the tank in Modern Warfare. You usually stay off at a distance. You don't want to go into a city.
Right.
It's the same here. Go in amongst the islands, and you will have a hailstorm of RPGs coming at you. So I think we're catering for a lot of new play styles that we haven't seen on the battlefield previously. Not even in 1942, where water gameplay was still big.
So, last thing that I can think of here is talking in terms of, at E3 we didn't have the chance to actually see a jet yet, but here we will have an opportunity to see some really good dogfights. What are some of the different changes that have happened, or are there changes that have happened to the jet?
I mean, overall for the game, we worked with accessibility. We've ensured that you get a good start-out loadout, where in Battlefield 3, with all respect to the community, I'm sorry.
That was difficult.
You had to be the most hardcore. No flares, no countermeasures, and only the cannon to start with. That's not a good
It was difficult.
first-time experience. So my apologies, you may beat me. But we've tried to fix that, and that goes for all classes, that the starting setup should give you a good experience that is easier to master, but makes you competitive on the battlefield. We've worked with disabled states, with kind of the homing missiles and so on, to find the sweet balance where skill matters on the battlefield. And we're also providing the test range, so you can kind of spend endless hours in there to bring your flying skills to perfection long before you enter the battlefield.
I need that.
Yes, and so do I, even though I've done this for some time. We can always get better.
We hope.
No, but I think that's the sum of Battlefield. The beauty of DICE and the people working there is it's always a constant strive for perfection. It's hard to get there, and we constantly, trust me, try to get there. Since it's a beautiful battlefield, and to see it in the hands of community, to see it in the hands of people here today, battling it out and following these matches is amazing. We learn so much from how people use the game, and that's why we follow it closely. So keep on giving feedback. As you can see, it matters. This is what we base a lot of our decisions on. We can't cater to everything, but everything we have within reach, we definitely try to do.
Lars, I think that's about all the questions that I have for you. If you have any last input that you want to bring out?
No, I'm just, once again, I hope you enjoy what you see here from Gamescom. The team is still working hard, we're tweaking and tuning, so it's still a building process. Come October, you will be able to try out the beta. And yeah, we're just super excited to bring it to the whole world and see how they will react.
I appreciate it, Lars. Of course, we've got so much more Battlefield to look at, so just go ahead and stick around. We'll be back right after the break.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.